Hello there and welcome back, Brawlers and Baku Crew members. BakuBrad96 here, and today I'm going ahead and picking up where I left off. So this is going to be part 2 of my latest local legacy Bakugan find. And yes, as teased in the end of the last video, I am going to be going over Maxus Dragonoid. My very first one, and I think this is like 20 years after the fact, so kind of funny and a little trivia note there. But before I get right into it, Brawlers, I need your help. Please subscribe to the channel and continue to watch my Bakugan content because it keeps the lights going, if you will, and it makes my opportunity to keep making content that much more possible. Every ad watched and every sub just gets me a little closer to the final goal, where hopefully I can do this for a career. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Last time, I actually forgot about something, and it's this little guy right here. He was kind of under the table or under the ledge, and I missed him. But this battle-damaged Subterra Stug was included in that lot, and I had meant to review it in the last video, but I thought, what a cute little way to start off this one. We've got a combiner and a crab, or at least I think this is supposed to be a crab, like maybe a hermit crab. But despite not having any visible issues or signs of wear or damage, like all the other Bakugan in this lot, it's really stuck. Like, it does not open on stand. The magnet catches sometimes. But all in all, this is really just a collection piece rather than a using Bakugan, or one that's fit for battle. So 760 G-Power, really strong anyway for Nuvastroya. So I think we all kind of cap off at right around 7. So I don't know, really strong, just like that Ventus Percival in the last video. I honestly didn't know Bakugan in Nuvastroya got that high. I mean, I knew Alto Brontes, but I thought he was kind of an outlier just as a Bakugan. But no, it seems like Nuvastroya Bakugan hit 700 all the time, and I'm just now learning about it. So this is the Subterra Stug anyway, and it does have little manual pincers. So we have this one, really cool, right? Like Legacy Butterclaw but better. And then some manual feet, which I don't even know. Oh yeah, no, they're really stuck. So just like all the other Bakugan, definitely gonna need some TLC. Gonna get some pliers up in there, maybe a little cleaner. Some WD-40 for the springs might help. I have no idea. I just know that they are all really stuck. Stuck on Stug. There we go. Ha ha ha. See what I did there? But yeah, so that was the only Bakugan missed in the last video. At least I'm pretty sure that was the only one missed. Moving on though, and going straight into the Maxus Dragonoid. So last video I showed it, I gave a little sneak peek of it put together. It was the first time actually putting it together, so I'm assuming I had some pieces wrong. But looking at the information here, it looks like the Maxus Dragonoid is formed from a special edition Neo Dragonoid, so nothing different. This is just like regular old Neo Dragonoid. And then we have Ventus Spitarm, Darkest Darkhound, which, what a hilarious name. Why put the Darkest in front of Dark? But anyway, moving on. Subterra Gracchus Hound, Aquas Graphius, Pyrus Spider Fencer, and Chaos Brachium. So really odd names. I gotta say the Maxus Helios was a little simpler in the name department. But moving on, these are all traps rather than all normal Bakugan like Helios got. It would have been interesting to have Dragonoid and Helios both be made out of traps. But I guess either way, via the game rules, you can't really use either one. Which, honestly, huge downside, in my opinion. That's why I'm going to be homebrewing a format for the Maxus pair. Hopefully that turns out really cool. It turns out to be fun, because I think that's something Spin Master should have done. But moving on, I guess I'll review each independently. Now, my Neo Dragonoid is, again, stuck. Every Bakugan in this bundle, like, there's no visible damage. Everything looks good, but nothing opens, so... This Neo Dragon has the same layout as the other Neos. It just has all the combiner pieces. So obviously you're going to have your horns here. Yep. And then the feet. Pretty much the same as Neo Dragonoid, just different wings, a little more detail. different color scheme. For G power, it does have 650, so I think that's generally higher than the regular Pyrus Neo Dragonoids in the set that were released, so that is a plus. And I have 2 other of these that actually work really good, but I didn't know if this was like a legit set, like out of box, that all go together. I would have to check the serial numbers, but until I do so, I'm going to just keep this all together as a set, and leave my other spare 2 alone, I guess. But now onto the traps. I guess I'll start off with the arms. So this is Chaos Brachium. And again, I think these all stick a little. Well, let me get some room on the gate card. I don't know if any of these, or if all of these will even open. See, right then I just had to apply a lot of pressure. And I'm not sure what the arms are supposed to be. I think they're like little worm, snake type things in the show. There is an eye right there at the top. This side is the side that can attach to Spider Fencer. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what the canon way is. I always put Spider Fencer on the back. But I see a lot of like product images and stuff of Spider Fencer connected to the hand. Of course, this hand goes right here, I'm pretty sure, because the peg. You kind of get a shoulder, if you will. But yeah. So it's a Chaos Bakugan trap, and it can switch your attribute to Darkest. So the arms, I think, give you 1 option, and then the feet give you 2. So that is Brachius, and then the next one is Aquas Graphius. So there's Brachium and Graphius. I'm going to have to learn these names. I'm not used to them. I think they do have manual pieces too. I'm not going to try because chubby fingers break everything. But there are like little fold-outable pieces. There we go. Okay, well, maybe I can do it. That side is really stiff. Okay. So those fold out. I don't know if you're supposed to fold those out on the actual Maxus Dragonoid or not. But the addition of the manual pieces is kind of cool. It's something different, I suppose. Alright, so Aquas Graphius, I'm going to have to memorize these names, can switch your attribute to Pyrus. And there they kind of both are. Now, obviously, you want to keep these closed, but here's the pair. And again, I think these are like snake-like, worm-like Bakugan, but I could totally be wrong. I know the feet are like dogs. But I think these were like Leafrim and Spindle for Helios, as they were like snake-like or serpent-like in nature. At least they look like it in Bakugan form anyway. It's been so long since I've seen the show. I honestly have no idea. I'm spitballing at this point. I even have the wiki page brought up beside me for the names. And you'd think I would do a little more research, but nah. I'm just chilling. Moving on, and to the feet. Why not? Let's feed it. So, Darkest Darkhound, one of the weirdest names ever. Like, if you're going to have something called Dark, why name it Darkest? Little ears fold out, I guess, but they are like, woo, that was some super tightness. And then the feet on the back. So I know this one because I've had the legs and the arms before. I've never had Spider Fencer. I've never had the whole thing at once. But I do think I have a Darkhound somewhere. And I don't think you do that. I think that little extra pop right there, that is for when it's a leg. So Darkest Bakugan Trap, and it gives you 2 options that are the same. So you can change to Chaos. So even though there's 2 attribute symbols, you're still going to get only 1 option for Darkhound. Moving on to, where's the other leg? There it is. I couldn't find it. I lost it, and it's right in front of me. There we go. This is, oh, I already forgot already. I think Gracchus Hound? Crackus? Is it Gracchus or Crackus? I think it's Gracchus. With a G. Yeah, with a G. That's really a weird name. Grackas Hound. Alright. So, literally the same leg design as Darkhound, which I do appreciate that the arms have the similar design and then the traps have a similar design. Gracchus Hound, unfortunately, doesn't have any ears. Oh, it does have a tail, though. Oh, the Darkhound has a tail, too. Cool, I'm just now seeing that. Alright, they have tails. So we have, like, legit dog trap Bakugan. That's funny. Alright, yep, we got 2 doggos. The Doge traps. We have the Doge traps. Anyway, so for the Subterra Gracchus Hound, you can change to Ventus right there. Okay. So Darkest changes you to Chaos, Subterra changes you to Ventus, Chaos changes you to Darkest, and then Aquas changes you to Pyrus. So far, it's the exact opposite attribute that it changes. If I'm correct, this one should turn you to Subterra then, because it's Ventus Spit Arm, and then Pyrus Spider Fencer should make you Aquas. Let's see if I'm right. I don't remember. So to fold out, so on my Spit Arm, the head probably needs a new spring. Look at that. Sticky. Hate that. But otherwise, great condition. 2 attribute change. Where's it? Oh, Subterra. I was right. So Subterra. So it looks like the Maxus traps just give you the, I don't know, the parallel attribute, if you will, or the opposite attribute. To be the torso, or I guess the waist of Dragonoid, it's really simple. But it is kind of a cool stingray, so that's neat. Kind of reminds me of Stingzer from Geogun Rising. Though I guess this one came first and Stingzer was based off of it. Either way, though, really cool Bakugan, really cool design. Not any manual pieces, though, which is kind of sad. I guess you have the peg for the combination, but that doesn't really count. Moving on to the last and final trap, there is Spider Fencer. Now, Spider Fencer I get confused with regular Fencer for Helios, Metal Fencer for Helios, and then yeah, so Spider Fencer for Dragonoid. Ton of Fencers, don't know why Spin Master did that, why you'd have like 5 or 6 different Fencer Bakugan. But anyway, I'm not going to mess with them because just like with my Dynamos, they're really tight, but you do have little manual pegs here that look a lot cooler when folded out for Drago, but I ain't doing it. And then I was right. So the Pyrus turns you to Aquas. So all of the Maxus traps at least have that going for them, as they give you the opposite attributes for them. And that's really neat. You know, that is really cool. But that's really all I have for it. This is my first time really having it, so I'm kind of taking it all in, how cool it is. Now, one thing I have seen from other content creators and YouTubers is they've been taking these, because apparently they're a lot more plentiful than I ever had, but they're taking them and they're custom painting them to make them look anime accurate. And what I mean by that is, so like Chaos would have, I think it's gold or yellow accent paint instead of the silver. Spit Arm has green, you know, Spider Fencer will have red, and so on and so forth. But you actually take the silver outlines, and I guess in the show they were matching to the native faction. So you can make it anime accurate and make it look that much better. I mean, imagine a Gracchus Hound with all brown instead of the silver. Brachium all gold instead of silver. You know, you kind of let the native attributes show through a little bit while still having that metallic red tie it all together. I have seen this, you know, I think it looks awesome. Is it a project I'm going to do with my very first Maxus Dragonoid? I have no idea. I do not know. I could use some help. Might be a poll I put up. Let me know in the comments down below. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Because yeah, I'm kind of torn. I don't want to mess it up, but as much as I don't want to mess up this Maxus Dragonoid, having it custom painted to look accurate like the anime is just really cool. But enough about that, let's get into assembly. So what you're going to want to do is fold in the feet for Dragonoid and fold out the peg. That's all you got to do. And I'm going to go ahead and build it like I built it in the teaser for in the first part of this video. So you're going to fold in Brachium's little manual pieces there. And you're going to click him in to the side. Well, if you can get that peg to stay out, you're going to click it into Drago. There we go, like so. And I'm really not sure how to position it. Like, should it be at like 45, 90? I just set it like that because it kind of rests on the legs a little better. Same for the, oh, I already forgot it, Graphius? No, yeah, Graphius. Okay, so you're going to fold in the manual pieces and just pull out that peg. And like I said, I like Spider Fencer on the back. I don't know what's canon though. Like, what was in the show? Did Spider Fencer go on the back or in the Brachium? Or I guess it could go in the Graphius. So it could go into either one because they both have the peg holes. That's even more discerning. Like, which is which? I don't know. To get Spit Arm ready, I suppose, you just close in the head and the little fin wings. And then that's it, right? Because you want to leave the tail out for the tail of Dragonoid. That peg, a little pain to get out. But it just goes in the front. And that's another thing I didn't know, brawlers, is does the peg go on the back or the front? Because this Neo Dragonoid has 2 pegs. I assume the front because it makes it look a little more proportionate when it's all put together. But again, I don't really know. I've no idea. I'm gonna be, at least I'm honest with you all that I have no earthly idea what I'm doing. So then Spider Fencer goes on the back. Again, I assume it's this first hole right here by the head because it doesn't go all the way down otherwise. The pieces are stiff. These little pegs kind of fit really snug in the holes. So as you can all see, I'm like just pushing the peg down when I'm trying to get Fencer in there. There we go. And I don't want to break anything. The legs do lock over to a point. You can tell that they're meant to lock, but this one's just so old. You are going to want to pull these out. I'm not doing it because, again, I don't want to break it. Way too stiff, way too much damage. To get the feet ready, you're going to fold in the legs, the hind legs, excuse me, and the tail. Click it. Pull the head up to click the front down. And then you pull the peg out. And that's for both the dogs. Dogs are pretty much the same. The arms and the legs follow the same design pattern. I guess that was so the children, you know, all of us, when we originally bought this, could actually fold it out simply. And it not be too confusing. So the legs carry the same design as far as getting them ready. And then after that, you just plug them in. You know, it's really, well, I say it's simple, but these little pegs can be tricky. But you plug it in right like so. And there you have it. At least my version, or my first build, well, second now, this is only the second time I've built it, but Maxus Dragonoid. And I think I would like Spider Fencer on the arm. Maybe I'll do different photo shoots of that. But yeah, really cool Bakugan, really neat combiner. So now I have Geoforge, Ultimate Vilock, Maxus Dragonoid. Maxus Helios I have completed. I just cannot get a Chaos Helios for the full native. So right now I have the whole Chaos suit with a Pyrus Cyborg Helios, a Ventus Turbine Cyborg Helios, and a Darkus. Will I go for another Chaos Helios? I don't know. But brawlers, that's going to do it for this video. I don't want it to be too long, but I did want to kind of give my opinions and show off my very first Maxus Dragonoid. From a combiner standpoint, you know, coming off of Geogan Rising and the Geoforge Dragonoid, this one's a lot more sturdier. Like, you can shake it around, you can move it, you can whack it. I mean, other than the arms being loose, like a little shaky just from the design, it holds together really well. And that is something that the Geoforge Dragonoid does not do. I mean, you pick that thing off and the waist falls right off. Just way too much weight, it just goes plunk. So it's really nice to have a combiner that's stiff and it holds together very well. I mean, I'm just, woo, yeah. That's really nice from a design perspective. And I just think it shows you that Spin Master used to care about quality, but they kind of sacrificed it for the newer generations. In my opinion, it was sacrificed a little bit, but Legacy Bakugan, they fine-tuned, right? They were trying for it a lot harder than what they are now. Of course, back then they didn't have Paw Patrol as a safety net. But hey, that's just my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and stop there before this becomes hate speech. Because Spin Master's cool. I just wish they loved Bakugan a little more. You know, that's all it is. But until next time, stay safe, drum up, Bakugan Brawl always, and throw some bread!